You want sports? We got sports for you right here, Woodward Sports.
I'm never late. I'm always on time.
Oh.
When have I ever watched him?
I want wings and pizza.
Is wings and pizza?
I want wings and pizza.
Yeah. I played with that gorilla. You hear me?
Okay. You have a Tesla. You float here.
Hey, what's up? This is the best of Baligian and Bell. I didn't know that we had any best, but this is what they're telling us. Look, we want the day off, too, like everybody else,
We
Joy.
want the day off.
It's Memorial Day. I hope you guys are enjoying Memorial Day, whatever you're doing. But, Joy, what are we going to start with today?
We're going to start off with WAP, one of our iconic moments. And we're doing this because we want Monday off, which I already have Monday off, so I'm doing this for no reason. But check us out. You have social media. You have all these different things that are influencing our kids as well. You know, I don't want to get on certain songs, but like that stuff really gets into your subconscious mind. And then you ever notice yourself singing these songs randomly? Just randomly, you just start singing these songs.
Oh, my gosh, Joy, you sound like me.
I sound like you?
You do. You sound like the old dude because, like...
I'm the old dude now.
No, listen, I 100%...
That's why I'm looking at you smiling.
I never in a million years thought that I would be that guy, and I hear some stuff today, and I go, that's just garbage. Like, what the hell are you saying? Yeah. What? There's nothing funny about that.
Kennedy,
You're not
Do you
cool.
like Throat Baby?
Do I like what?
Throat Baby, the song Throat Baby.
I don't know that one.
You've heard it on TikTok.
You heard it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Can you give me a little...
No, please God, no.
Coat baby. No. It's cold outside. Grab your coat baby.
I don't think I've ever heard that one. I'm not even kidding.
No,
I thought you were referring to WAP, and I was like, don't come for WAP.
No, not WAP.
Don't come for WAP.
It's on the same level as WAP, if not worse.
Oh, it's worse.
It's worse. It's worse than WAP. Hey, listen to me. Look at me. It's worse than WAP.
Okay, I'll just believe you.
Yeah. She's gonna go listen to the song when we're
See,
done.
now, Kenny, welcome to the old. Now, Kenny, hey, the old club. Maybe we're not so bad after all.
She's in college. You don't know
dudes.
what that song gets stopped.
I'm not even kidding.
No, but it's Joy.
Kennedy, first, hold up. If you're gonna be single, the first thing you need to stop doing this line. Like, you know what that song gets stopped. Like, and you're in college. Like, stop it. Stop it.
I'm just glad it's not me today.
I can hear my dad. I had a gym downstairs that like I kind of made my own gym downstairs, and I would always work out to Metallica, and that was always my thing. And my dad would go, "How can you listen to that crap? Like, how is that? You compare that to the Beatles? How can you listen?"
Not the Beatles.
And you know what? I'm that guy now. I hear some of the lyrics from like my kids will play a song, and I find myself like immediately turning into my get that crap off my television. You know what it's like? Oh my gosh, John! I'm John.
Mumble rap. This is the mumble rap for me. I'm glad that's kind of over now.
No, it's not.
It's kind of over.
Oh, it's a million times worse now. Like there's
who are the mumble rappers now?
Mumble?
Every rapper mumbles other than
Give me one.
Give
me two mumble rappers.
Lil Uzi Vert, he mumbles.
Well, that's
who?
Little Uzi Vert. He's doing better.
Love his work. His first CD, Must Listen.
Not CD.
Not
CD.
Give me another one.
His first LP, that was hot.
Yeah. And then
Little Universe? What's it? Steven
Little
Universe?
Uzi Vert.
Listen, Kevin says WAP sucks.
No, it doesn't.
WAP. Kevin said WAP. WAP sucks.
What?
Trippy Red. Oof.
Trippy Red. Oh.
No. Trash.
You know what though? But I mean, to each his own. I mean, obviously somebody like he's famous for it. So
6ix9ine was famous, and for what?
Yeah, don't even get started.
Is
on
that the guy that has the tattoos all over?
The crazy hair.
I knew one. All right, I knew one.
Go,
check
Grandpa.
him out.
It's a big day today. It's a big day today. I can't wait to go home and tell my kids.
We gotta bring Sean. We gotta start a hip hop show right here with Sean. Get Sean on here. You know, we're gonna change the name of the show.
I'll get those L's in the air. Scare them all off.
You know, I'm liking the view here though. We need to change the name of the show from Baligian to Bell to Two Thorns in a Rose.
Aww.
2 thorns in a rose.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
By the way, if you're an attractive male looking, Kennedy Broadwell, ladies and gentlemen, if we mentioned she's on the market.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very freshly.
I was mistaken. 2 thorns in a rose. Here.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, that changes things. I'm out.
I'm joking.
All right. What up, Doe?
Dog.
Boy, they're having some fun on the Facebook page. I have the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jenna was responding to, but she had me at Wings and Pizza.
Wings
when
and
I
pizza.
when I just see Wings and Pizza pop up. Is that what it is?
WAP.
Okay.
Say, honey, when I come home, I want you to give me some WAP.
Yeah. It's just like bop. It's like bop. 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 Break up
Wings
a pizza.
and pizza.
Wings and pizza and bop.
That Kevin Hart special was the best.
I would
It's
love.
from the Kevin Hart. What?
What the best?
I know what I'm
That was
having
good,
for
though.
lunch
That was really
today,
good.
Fish. All right, you know
dope.
I got to blow out of here. I got some things to do this afternoon.
Some
I
waffles.
think I'm going to have some
Is
wings
Art-
and some
Are
pizza.
you upset? Because that's not. I said that's not his.
There's certain times when you talk and you give your opinion, and I absolutely hate it. That latest special from Kevin Hart was his best. He was in his home, relaxed. When he was talking about the boxing story, I was crying. My wife and I, that was our last special moment that we had, was with Kevin Hart watching the special, laughing together. I can't believe that you said that that's not his best. I'm disappointed.
It was a good special. My favorite of his is Seriously Funny. Seriously Funny was his best one of me.
I'm Sean Baligian for WAP. When I'm hungry, there's
at this.
nothing that satisfies my appetite like WAP. This very afternoon, I am looking, as soon as the show is over, to head out and get myself as much WAP as I can possibly get. WAP satisfies me in every way possible. So the next time you're hungry, make sure you pick up some WAP.
The show's over. The show's over. Please make it
Is
stop.
Grammy Whammy watching?
Grammy, you know what though? My grandma is so hip. She probably even knows what WAP is.
I want wings and pizza.
Is wings and pizza?
I want wings and pizza.
No. You want WAP?
No, I guess WAP.
Hey guys, I think we got the clip for today.
I run a clip.
I want WAP. There's nothing wrong with
Hey,
that.
my grandma, she chimed in.
Brandon said,
Hey, you
"Son
know what's
needs
funny?
Jesus."
You know what's hilarious? When I was home, I asked my grandfather, "When's the last time he had some WAP?"
Oh my God, stop.
Listen, Jenna, this is your fault. Don't you put up skeletons. You're the one that said wings and pizza.
You know what he said?
What?
He said about 10 years last time I had some WAP, my defibrillator shocked me. I said, Grandpa, you got to give up wings and pizza. You can't eat that. It's bad for your cholesterol.
We're done here. We can go home.
When we go down, we're going down to the Keys. Just programming note, a month from now, we're going down to the Keys. I have no idea who's doing the show with Joik. I don't care. It might be the Art and Joik show. But I'll tell you, the first thing I do when I get down to the Keys, I'm going to look at my family and go, who wants some WAP? That's going to be our first meal down there. I'm going to get some wings and pizza.
You going to go get some WAP where? Pizza Hut? Little Caesars?
No, I'm going to find a nice pizza joint down in the Keys, right?
Okay.
Is it like
say?
sacrilegious to you to put ranch on your pizza? Because
Yes.
I'm a big ranch with my pizza girl.
Yeah. I can put right. I used to.
Yeah,
I
obviously
used to.
used to. I was just wondering because you're the
Well,
man
do,
of the,
no, do
the
you know,
food.
do you know? Can I tell you what I do? But because I have to respect my family, and people get mad at me if you are asking me, I love anchovies on a pizza. I love it. It's tremendous. It's great. It's awesome.
You're a disgusting human
right?
being.
And my
You're a
family's
disgusting
like,
human being.
no way, we're not doing that. No, no, zero, no.
I
And
won't even classify you as a human.
and so I never get anchovies on a pizza. And the gone are the days where I could just go get a pizza myself.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it anymore.
What's your favorite pizza?
Pepperoni. Double pepperoni, preferably. Yeah.
Okay. My favorite one is the Hawaiian pizza.
Uh-oh, this is gonna get problematic really fast.
Yeah, because you don't
I like pineapple.
With the
on
ham
pizza.
and the pineapple?
I like pineapple.
I don't get it with the ham.
Oh yeah, you don't.
The barbecue sauce. It's the barbecue sauce.
Someone
on there.
said y'all are off the effing rails, especially Sean.
The pineapples. What else you have? You have that on there. You have your cheese and your mozzarella.
The mozzarella.
Was that good?
That was terrible.
He's going to make a pizza for you.
I don't know his words, me saying that or the guy who produces this show.
Wow. Great job.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope you sleep well at night.
Shots fired. All right, man.
Kennedy.
All
Sorry.
You know what she's rocking with. Stop it.
No more nameplate for you.
I'm not taking any accountability for this. With this off the rails stuff, it's Jenna brought up wings and pizza. Philip, I'm blaming you, Jenna. No accountability, none.
Vinny, the mozzarella.
Please stop.
For the rest of for the watchers who's watching this show, at some point today,
I'm so happy.
you guys are gonna be in the mid conversation and you're just gonna shout it out. The mozzarella. The mozzarella.
The Maserati.
The Maserati, yes.
The Maserati.
Somebody said Detroit style is the best.
It is the best.
Steve said if you guys had Chicago deep dish, it's a pie for real. It's so overrated to me. If I want some dough, I'll just bake a thing of bread. I'm sorry. I think Chicago style is so overrated. This is one thing I never liked. To each your own.
I went to Chicago one time and I got what they call the Chicago dog, and it almost made me puke. And I never ate it again. I never touched it again.
I love the Chicago dog.
I think if you put cheese in the crust, that's what I'm like. Ugh, I can't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't belong there.
I'm with you.
I like the Detroit, the Four Corners, the deep dish. It's
Buddies.
That's all I
Detroit style, Buddies.
Detroit style. I go to Buddies. That's where
Jets
I get
has a good one.
It's called the Two Jimmies. That's what the Hawaiian pizza. It's called the Two Jimmies, and I get that every time I go. Don't put the ham on.
I'm a New York slice guy. Like if you give me that thin of crust, I'm happy. Like just
I like that too.
I
like that. The big. Yeah, it's a spot.
Nice and greasy. I can drink the cups of grease like shots. Hey, so welcome back to the best of Baligian and Bell here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jared Goff, PFF, because they're smart people, agree with me. He hasn't been very good the last couple of years. Let's all reserve judgment until we see what he does here. But in the meantime, let's talk factually about what he's been the last couple of years, and PFF does just that. I'm going to say this. Jared Goff hasn't been very good the last couple of years, okay?
He hasn't.
I mean, there's no other way to say that. Eye test, looking at the numbers or anything. Now, does that mean that he's going to come here and stink less? I think he's going to stink more, but I don't know that definitively, okay? I'm not going to look in the Jared Goff's going to bounce back. I don't know that definitively. All I can do is tell you definitively what's happened the last couple of years. He hasn't been good. That's all, okay? So when PFF came out with their quarterback rankings, they ranked Goff as a bottom-tier quarterback. He ranked 26 out of 32 active starting quarterbacks. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it is fair.
Terry?
That's pretty eye-opening. But talked to my boy Stick today, and he's saying how much better Goff is than Matthew Stafford. But if I had asked him that question a year ago, he would say Stafford is better.
No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
It all depends on who's wearing the Honolulu blue.
You know what's funny? Terry, I'm going to use what you just said, and I'm going to apply that to me. If you asked me a year ago, I might have said Goff, because at that time Goff only had the one less than year. And that at that point in time, it would be an exception, because we've talked about it many times on the show. He had a good year. He had a great year. He had a less than year. Okay, so maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. But to have two less than years in a row on a better team with better weapons and be the turnover machine that he's been. Weapons.
But they had weapons, though. They
did. The Rams had better weapons.
Yeah,
the Rams had better weapons. There's no doubt about it. But and to be the turnover machine that he was, that scares me to death when, newsflash, the Lions don't have the weapons that the Rams have going into this season.
I'm going to tell you the weapons we do have, which might make his job a little bit easier, is our O-line is, for first time in a while, the strength of our team right now. And that was a weakness for the Rams, in fairness, to your point. Right. Yep. And so going forward, moving forward, depending on how much time he has in that pocket, and we've seen what less than quarterbacks can do when they have time in the pocket. We've seen that.
Oh, have we ever?
Yeah, we've seen
You
that.
watch Matt Patricia's defenses the last couple of years?
Yeah. You know, and you look back and say a Trubisky came through and torched us, and he's a very bottom-tier quarterback in this league, right? Second string at best. A solid second stringer. Give him time to grow. Bring him here to a team like this right now. Now, we don't have the receivers that he once had, but any receiver can get open. He has 4 or 5 seconds. Come on. You know, so that's the upside we have with Goff right now.
Based on the last couple of years, and this is the argument, and I think this is where people get confused. Again, I'm not going to sit. I don't know how it's going to end here. I have my doubts. I'm openly going to tell you, but when I have discussions with Young Stick and some of the people on our, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, what are you arguing? There's no. He hasn't been good the last 2 years. That's non-negotiable. That's non-debatable. He's been a turnover machine. That's real. I'm not making anything up. I'm not being a hater.
But I want you to understand this. When people look at Jared Goff, they're going to look at his accomplishments when he comes here, not what he's done recently. They're going to look at everything he's done before.
No, I get that, but
you can only go. This is a right now league, so I agree with you. This is a right now league.
1,000%.
What can you do for me right now?
This goes back to something you weren't here on Monday. Terry and I were having this conversation. It is not, Terry. It is not our job to tell you that everything's going to be okay and pet you and say
that is true.
Everything. And
right.
So people get mad at Terry when Terry speaks the truth about the Lions. People get mad at, and things like that. It's like, I always call it misguided anger. Well, what are you mad at me for? I'm not the general manager. I'm not the guy that created a turnover a game.
Because we have people in this town like Mr. Hart who only wants honey and bubble baths. He doesn't want you to say anything negative about his team, no matter how true it may be. That if you just ignore it, or if you ignore the problems, they'll just go away.
Is that love? Is that love? To see a problem with someone that you love and say, you know what, I love you, so to continue to do it, even though it's going to be detrimental down the line. Now, is it more love if you go to them and be upfront and say, this is what you need to do to fix things? Or, we can't bring it up on the show, but, these are things that might be happening in some people's lives that might put them in the position they're in right now.
Look, sometimes, people say, oh, you're being negative. No. You bring up the problem so maybe it gets corrected. Instead of just, the emperor's walking down the street with no clothes on and you don't say anything. Right. Yeah. Hey, that's a good-looking suit. Don't know if it's silk or what. It's a good-looking
brother right there.
Right.
No, and Joy, it's funny. This is my Stick loves to throw. Both things can be true here. I can love the Lions. A human being can love the Lions, and you can look at where they're at right now and go, all right, they're not good right now, but they're cognizant of what the issues have been, to your point.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to build up legitimately. And that's exactly where I'm at. It's not there yet. It's not going to happen this year. But, boy, even a guy like Terry, the early returns, you have to be.
I see a future. How about that?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. For Jared Goff to be successful here, he has to have time in the pocket. He doesn't have that arm talent to be able to run and throw those crazy passes on a zip and squeeze passes through tiny holes. He doesn't have that arm strength. What he does have is a great football IQ to where if he sits back in that pocket, he has time, he can pick you apart. And that's just about every quarterback in the NFL if they have time. So let's see what happens.
Ranked 26 of 32 active quarterbacks. What does that mean?
That should be a chip on the shoulder, though.
What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? All jokes aside, nothing. I mean, he has a chance to give them the middle finger this year and say, screw you. I got time to throw. And, I think what we're going to find out is how much of it was McVay and how much of it was Goff. We'll find that out fairly quickly, I think, because that's what a lot of people have said. They want to blame McVay's system and people, quote-unquote, figuring out McVay's system for what ails Goff. And I don't know how necessarily.
I think
true that
McVay
is.
gave up on Goff a little
There's
bit.
no doubt about it.
He's like,
no doubt about it.
This guy's bad now, so
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do what I did in the past.
All right, so this, and as I sit here, and we had this conversation before, Sean, that we think he is going to be a placeholder. But if he comes in and say he does well, which the way it's looking, he might be able to do something this year to when he comes back next year and put some more pieces, add some more pieces next year. He might be able to be here for a few more years.
It would be
saying.
unbelievably beneficial to this franchise if somehow, some way, he looked like the guy in 2018 or 2017 again. Because, Joy, think of it this way.
You want to trade?
That's one less high first-round pick you would have to use in a quarterback. You could go address something else. If he looks like the guy from 17 or 18, keep him. Why would you do that?
But I don't think he's going to look like that just because of the weapons that he's going to have this year. Next year, he might have more of an opportunity to reach those heights. I don't think it's going to be this year, but I think you'll be able to see signs and flashes of 2017, 2018 this year.
I am convinced he's gone after 2 years.
But then if he does show some promise with more weapons, then I think what your point is then you don't have to draft that quarterback.
No.
I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback next year. I think they're going to, make sure that he gets his opportunities. But the year after, they might draft one. But if the guy looks good, you might I think I'm going to take a defensive end instead.
But that's what I'm saying, though. You got to think that'll be going into year 3. Mm-hmm. Right? They'll be going. So he goes this year. Boom. He does well. Comes back out next year. They don't draft a quarterback next year. He plays well. And then we're going to get rid of him the following year, then draft a quarterback? No, if anything, draft a quarterback next year, have him play under Goff for a year.
Well, I think that's what Terry's saying.
What you're trying to say, Terry?
Next year.
So draft a quarterback. But if he plays well this year, there's no need to draft a quarterback next year. That's what I'm saying.
But I think we're assuming you'd have to assume that because the team won't be good, that he's not going to look great. So would you in 2022 draft a quarterback?
I need you to get the wax out your ears. What I'm saying is if he does well this year, there won't be a need to draft a quarterback next year. That's what Sean is saying. So if he plays well this year, we don't draft a quarterback next year because he's done well. And I'm not saying he's going to have a great season, but we see flashes and we see he's making good football decisions, and he's not at the height of 2017 and 18, but you can tell he's not making dumb mistakes. He's not turning the ball over. He's been smart with the ball. I don't think his numbers are going to be great with passing yards just because of the weapons he has. But he can still make some. He can be a good manager.
I get the point that you're making. But here's the problem with hypothetical conversations. This guy is not put in a position to succeed here. He just isn't. I mean, it's nice that they have an offensive line, but there's, as you know, there has to be some fluidity and continuity with that line for it to really come together, especially with a couple of young pieces on there. Yeah. And he doesn't have the weapons. I mean, if he goes off this year, I'm telling you, number one, my jaw would drop, and number two, I'd go, I'm dead wrong about this guy. Yeah. He's not put in a position to succeed right now.
I hear what you're saying, but
can you believe with some of the heat that we had in May that we were forced to work in this studio without air conditioning? Well, the people rose up. It was time for rebellion, and as always, power to the people. This is how we got the AC back. We need your help out there, all right? Yes. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook
or Twitter.
Art, please look at the YouTube comments. Maybe, Kennedy, you can look at the Twitter comments if somebody's watching there.
I did not agree to this, by the way.
And 100% my fault,
Put your nameplate on 100.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. If you guys want to get mad at somebody, get mad at me, okay?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to throw her under the bus, too. Everybody but me.
Our Facebook family, they're going to get our back here. Joyke and I are begging them to turn on the air conditioner while we're on the air.
Yes.
And they say we can't do that. And like all jokes aside, it's warm in here, okay? It's not comfortable. So we said, let's turn on the air conditioner. Art and Kennedy are screaming no. So again, I don't want anybody. You guys were against this.
Yes.
Okay.
Let it show.
So, no, Chad, Mike Broadwell, Tim, nobody can get mad at you guys. We said, leave on the air conditioning. They both said, it sounds like shit. And I said, well, we sound like shit.
Thanks, Ryan.
But let's ask people, can you hear the air conditioner right now?
Can y'all hear it?
Are you like if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter.
Look at Jake.
Can
Let
you
them
guys
have
hear
the
it?
AC. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Bo said the hot studio is my favorite cast member.
Listen, it's miserable in here. I'm being really sincere. It's very miserable in here.
Yeah.
Can you guys, while Joyke and I are having a conversation and we're talking with you, can you hear that? Is that see now the boss is walking
Ryan
in. Sticks on
commented
head.
and said yes.
But
Stick, I didn't do it. I
can
did
hear
not.
it.
can you guys hear
God.
this? We're asking a little. Stick, it's my fault. I did it. I'm owning it right now.
No
It's
sound
100%
difference, period.
me.
No sound difference, period.
Epic
God.
said yes, but it's not bad though. Bo said I can hear it, but it's not bad.
Hey, let's talk to Stick, who's on the Morning Wood Show from 8 to 10. How are you, Stick?
If you love the sound of a jet engine in the background, I think it sounds fine.
I was
You know-
going to
you know
say the
what's
same
funny?
thing.
You know what's
Man,
funny?
thanks for talking over me, Joe.
you know
Jenna
that-
says we can't hear it.
Like Jenna said, listen, Jenna's on here every day. She said we can't hear it.
Listen, Jenna doesn't even listen to this network, so I'm not going to take her seriously.
She
She's
li-
hardly ever listening. She has
She
no.
is our most valid listener
No,
here.
I love you, Jenna. and Thank you. You can
Jenna,
hear.
real quick, Jenna, what's your favorite show on Woodward
God,
Sports?
don't do
Boy.
But
Jenna,
Sean,
what is your
you come
favorite
from
show
a
on
radio
Woodward Sports?
background. Art comes from a radio background, so you understand. You listen for different things. Like
Absolutely.
even when they're using the air compressors behind you, and we've kind of dulled that sound, I still hear it, and it still
I do
drives
too.
me insane
Yeah.
when I'm listening to a show. So maybe it's just me being super sensitive.
No, I have to 100% agree with Stick. And
Oh,
here's
all
the
right.
thing.
All
This
right,
was
here-
your
here
guys'
go Art
decision.
again.
No, 100%. This is me. I know. Art is, he lives in a perpetual state of fear that he's going to be fired. So this was not Art. This was not Art.
Perpetual fear.
It is. I mean,
I've never seen it before.
Today's the day.
Bro, I haven't seen players this worked up again. Cut.
Does Birmingham
I
lose
got 7
tired?
kids to provide for.
So did they.
The best part about
$700.
Art is eventually he's going to be right. And he's
Well, yeah,
like, it's a
everybody's
self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is.
If every day you think you're going to be gone, eventually you're going to be
Eventually,
gone.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
you know
you put
what?
it out
That's
there
it.
to the universe.
You know what?
But look, he got an excuse for it. Listen to his excuse.
I got kids.
Go ahead, Art.
I'm going to keep this job, and I'm going to run this place one day. I tell ya.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so, man. You think we
Yeah.
want to run this shit forever? We want to hand this off to
but
somebody.
watch this, Stick. What have I been telling you? What have I been telling you,
I
Art?
gotta watch my vibrator and
No, that's Trish. What do you have to watch?
vibrations. Also, being an audiophile that I am, like not to be like nerdy, I hear it. When
Yeah.
we first started this and the air was on, I hear it in the background and it drives me nuts personally. But you know what? Let's
know
do
what
a
really
Twitter
grinds
poll.
my
Let's do a
gears?
Twitter poll.
Scott said if I turn my headset up, I can hear a bit of a fan. Not enough to be a problem, and it's worth the little background noise. If the noise is that bad, then maybe the guy in charge of audio should do a better job of mixing the sound.
Oh, they're talking to you, Fish.
Well, then someone teach me
Maybe
how to
that's
do it
why
then.
Fish
Teach me how to
Wow.
do it then.
That Fish, you're not doing your job correctly.
All right, I'll leave then. You want me to leave? I'll
Yeah,
leave right
go ahead.
No.
Leave.
All right, bye.
No,
Bye.
I don't want you to leave.
You're not going nowhere.
No, but in all fairness and actual reality, as long as your content is killing it, people will tolerate a little buzzing in the background. So this is on you. If the fan's on, step your game up, give us better content.
You know what?
Our content is always good.
Content's king,
Always
baby.
on
I
time.
want great.
Our content is always
I want art
on
great.
time.
Here's the thing. The lack of AC has created impeccable content. So let's, no AC, cut it, Stick. Swear! It drives the numbers up.
All right, Stick, you're the boss. If you want to turn the damn thing off, turn it off.
He's turning
No,
it off.
I'm being serious. I'm being sincere.
Dude, I gotta admit-
1,000% sincere.
I am so comfortable right now.
I don't know. Listen
Now
to me.
look at now look at it.
Arthur, I'm not afraid to have those conversations, but at the end of the day,
You have to have a conversation.
and you have the conversation and respect the chain of command.
Okay.
If Fish, Stick, and Chad
Fish sticks.
and Joey say
Fish sticks.
no
I love
air
it.
condition, I tip my cap and go cool.
I gotta be honest with you. This isn't even why I came in here.
You're out here getting busted.
No, listen. So hold on.
Like, honestly, I thought I turned into you. Oh, this is it. We're going to get fired. Stick is getting rid of me.
I'm like, what am I walking into?
Let me ask. I'm going to go around the room. Sean, AC on or off?
Don't disrespect me by asking that question.
Right.
AC on or off?
On.
Joey.
On.
Or Joey. AC
On.
on or off? On?
I said it twice.
Okay, I'm sorry. Fish, AC on or off?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so we'll do on. Stick and Kennedy, AC on or off?
Also doesn't matter to me.
Oh, God.
No. That's a cop out. That's a cop out.
You guys both have to say yes or no.
If there's a cop out, say off for better content.
All right.
Listen, here at Woodward Sports Network, we're all about curtailing our shows to the talent and making sure Joik is pampered, has his water, his chair tucked in good,
his mic on the other
side. Is right. Sean looks beautiful over there, and it's all about
free
the talent.
haircut, free lineup.
Listen, if I don't have to hear about the fucking air again, keep it on. How about that?
We won.
So throughout my time throughout the NFL, I've been very, very fortunate to meet and play with a lot of great guys and great men. So some of those great men have come on the show, and we have a lot of great moments. Take a look. Oh, there he is.
Look who we got.
There he is.
Rabbit, let's see you, boy.
You got to put your hand in a ponytail. He got to put it in the bun.
Oh, yeah.
What's good?
Janoris Jenkins of the New Orleans Saints kindly joining us here on the Baligian and Bell Show, Woodward Sports. First of all, Janoris, appreciate you taking the time, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. You know, this is interesting because I was talking to your boy Joik about this. You know, sometimes we in the media are fans. You know, we think it's a totally different scenario in a playoff week. But Joik was telling me it's business as usual. We all know what's at stake. It's just a regular business week. How's that been for you?
Man, it's been good. Been taking care of my body, relaxing, getting off my feet. You know, just watching film. You know what time it is. It's go time, man. Everybody got to turn it up a notch and just ball.
Hey, Rabbit, I wanted to...
Before you, hold on. Let me get my question.
Go ahead,
I told
go
you,
ahead.
relax.
This ain't my show, so go ahead.
Right, relax. Real quick. So I was talking to Sean real quick, and we're trying to think of how you came up with the name Jack Rabbit. Now, I heard a couple rumors. He said he think because you're kind of fast. I caught wind that you got the name Jack Rabbit, but everybody calls you Rabbit because you used to chase rabbits for your training. Is that true?
No, that's actually not true. I was in college. I went to college early.
Florida.
I left school, high school in like January. And, you know, I ain't on no plays, so I'm playing spring ball. I ain't on no plays. My coach just threw me out there. And I was like making plays. I had like probably like 4 interceptions. Spring ball. And then one day we get in the film room, we watching film, and he's just like, man, you moving quick, you moving fast, you moving like a little jackrabbit. But I ain't know what I was doing at the time, you know what I'm saying? I was just playing off spine ball, cheap ball, get ball. I really didn't understand cover 2. I was just out there just playing, but I was playing fast. And I was just making plays, and we got in the film, like I said, and one day he just said, boy, you moving like a jackrabbit. And after that, I just ran with it.
You ran with it, huh?
He did.
Yeah, but we do chase rabbits from the muck, though.
Okay.
Hey, Rabbit, I want to talk about the first team you ever played for. And the first team Rabbit ever played for was the Saints. He wore number 57. He was a linebacker and a running back. And now he finds himself on the New Orleans Saints, where Ricky Jackson, played for the Saints, and all goes circle. What you think about that, Rabbit?
That's crazy. Because I actually wore number 57 because of Ricky Jackson. It was like Pop Warner, bro. I was like 8, about 7, like 7 years old, 57. I had 57. I played O-line, linebacker. And I was out to just smash it, like. I thought I was Ricky Jackson. You feel me? And
that's great.
Just to be able to just say I made it and be with the Saints, man, it's a blessing.
For sure.
Now let me tell you a little bit about Pahokee. This is a town that's in the middle of Florida down.
Tell them about the book, Chad.
Let me name some of these players that come out of this small town. You're Anquan Bolden, Parnell McPhee, Antoine Smith, Alfonso Smith, Bill Bentley, Richard Ash, and the Rabbit. He's the king of the muck.
Damn.
He's the king of the muck.
What they got in the water down there, Janoris?
You said what?
Something in the air, he says.
Something in the air down there. Is that what they have in the water?
I don't know.
Hey, Rabbit. So last year you came on the Saints towards the end of the year, and you came in, played well, played good in your first playoff game, forced fumble. This year you were able to go to a little bit of camp with COVID. You've been with the team the whole year. You guys seem like you're gelling a lot better this year. What's the difference between last year coming on the team towards the end of the year compared to being with the team the whole year?
Just more time with each other. Just being around each other, getting to know each other, and just a vibe, man. Whenever we can, due to the situation, and just learning each other, man. Learning how each other play, and just being together for a long time. It's all about bonding, and I feel like we've been bonding very well all through the season. We're just gonna continue to bond and play ball.
You can tell that they're playing at a higher level. I mean, you guys are ranked number 4 defense in the NFL, and I tell everybody it's about the culture, it's about that team camaraderie, and it was I think you build that brotherhood, right? And so back in the early ages when they used to go to war, they used to try to put brothers or uncles and father and sons together because they felt like they fought harder that way. And so when you build that camaraderie and you guys build that brotherhood, they play for their brother. They, when somebody get hit, a late hit, he doesn't have to get back up because one of his teammates is already in the guy's face, defending his teammate. And they can tell, like, when you guys are playing the way you guys are playing, that's the type of ball I love to see. Like, somebody get tackled,
of course, man.
You go pick them up.
Well, we watched football this year. We saw that we saw how the guy got spat on it in a game, and then you see if you're friends with Rabbit, you're going to be safe anywhere you go with him because you saw my boy jump on his back and just give him basically the rattlesnake.
That was right.
Give him a goddamn rattlesnake. That's just how it goes. So we always know we safe when Rabbit's with us for sure.
Hey, Janoris, talk to me about Sean Payton. You and Joyke have something in common. You both had an opportunity to work under Sean Payton. This is a guy, he waited his turn. He was the hot name, and now he's been there, had a lot of success. What sets Sean Payton apart?
Man, one of the best coaches I ever played for. Just far as just understanding players, being a coach's player, to where you guys can be who they want to be, have fun. It's all about business, but make sure you're having fun. And I think Coach Payton, he understands that as a coach, and I think that's why a lot of guys that come through here that they really respect,
making us dizzy as shit.
He understands being a player.
Janoris.
Hold that damn phone straight. Don't move that phone, Rabbit. Jesus Christ. The hell you trying to do, man?
My bad,
He said he feel like he watching Blair Witch Project. Hey, Janoris, real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, bro. Sean asked me earlier, like when we went to the playoffs, we kept it like the same schedule. We didn't really switch off. Do you guys make changes when you guys go into playoff mode? Do you guys change the schedule? Do you guys keep the same schedule, just like the regular season, doing everything I guess you guys did during the season? You doing that in the playoffs as well?
Yeah, you keep the same schedule, man. Coach Payton understands. He knows. He keep the same schedule and just let us go out and ball.
For sure.
Yeah, again, today, Tuesday's their day off. So, Rabbit, we talk, just as boys all the time, and we always talk about how the Pro Bowl and stuff is sometimes a popularity contest, and you always kind of stick to yourself and, have a small circle. But I always joke with you of, the league is showing that you're a Pro Bowler by the cash they paid my boy. That big cash they paid my boy.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, just working so hard, coming from nothing, coming from the muck, seeing your family, seeing your friends, being able to put your family, your babies, your children, Gina, mom, dad, in a situation where everyone feels safe. Kind of tell me, how that feels to you as a human, as a man, as a son, as a leader of your family.
Man, it feels special, man. Just getting to this point, knowing that I'm matured as from a young man to a grown man, knowing that I was raised right, knowing, you know, everybody make mistakes, get over the hump. But at the end of the day, you got to be a leader. You got to lead your kids, you got to lead your family. And most important of all, you got to give it all thanks to God. And I'm happy, I'm excited. Just got to keep going.
Sure. Hey, Janoris, I got to ask you, we have a rookie cornerback here out of Ohio State. I know you're busy during the year, probably haven't had a chance to see him, but Jeff Okudah, highly touted. You're a guy that came into the league. Everybody knew who you were, knew your story, knew what you could do. How difficult of a position is that to play? You often hear people say, man, you're on an island as a rookie. To people out there that are already sitting there trying to diss Okudah or diss a young cornerback, talk about that transition from college ball to the NFL at cornerback.
Oh, man, it just, at the end of the day, I look at it as football is just football. Just do what you do. You don't have to change. Just come in, do what you do, and everything will take care of itself. The way you prepare, just prepare how you always prepare. And just go have fun, man. Like, people try to make football as if it's so hard when you're coming into the league. But at the end of the day, you've been doing this for your whole life. Just come in and just understand that now more accountability is on your shoulder. I agree. But at the end of the day, it's just football.
The thing with Rabbit that he's always had, guys, is...
Hold on, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I want to piggyback
It's
off
okay
that
if you interrupt. Go ahead, it's your show.
Yeah, I know. Now, when you came into the league, who was that guy in your DB room that you learned a lot from? From each team, you was with the Rams, you was with the Giants. Now you with the Saints. Now, what guy did you learn the most from?
The guy that I learned the most from, I would say, it's two guys, Cortland Finnegan and Dominique Rogers-Cromartie.
That's my guy.
Both of those guys taught me a lot. Both of those guys, I learned a lot from both of those guys.
Cortland's my young homie. He's out of the league now, but he's got smoothie bars and stuff. We got to get Cortland on the show here in the future.
That'd be good.
Cortland's cool.
That'd be good to get him on the show.
Yeah, Cortland's my guy.
Let's talk about that play against Miami.
I'll get Cortland on before I leave this week.
All right.
Rabbit, that's funny you said that. I never knew that. I never knew that. You took a couple things from Cortland, but the thing with Rabbit, and he doesn't brag too much. He's just real low key dude. No. But if you talk to his friends, when he was 8, best player. He was beaten 13 years old. When he went to high school, hands down the best player. Went to college, best player. Pretty much every team he's been on, he's been the best player. But what we always see with Rabbit, one of his favorite sayings is no pressure. He don't feel pressure. So when they work this weekend and they go to this playoff game, this kid has no pressure. He's out there like this is just Sunday dinner with my family. He's been able to take the game to a slow level, Sean, to where, like he says, he's like, I'm just going to work on Sunday. This is easy for me.
Easy money.
Easy for him. And I'm always going to brag about him, but again, he's 31, 32 now. 31, 32 and still getting over 10 M's a year. That just shows you the man. You that straight dog. Tell him.
Hey, listen, Jack Rabbit. When he say you getting 10 million a year, you can smile. It's okay. It's all right.
Talk about his loot. You don't like to talk about his loot.
No, man. No pressure. No pressure. Man, I just keep some stuff I don't talk about. Some stuff I don't like to talk about. I just keep it where it's at.
Hey, you guys want to see it? It's on Google. Just go on Google.
Hey, talk to me about Drew Brees. I mean, literally one of the legends that ever played this game. And, we had a good view of him back in the day at Purdue. And here's another guy, Janoris, that everybody says he's too small. Everybody says he doesn't have the arm strength. Well, all those yards later, we're talking about a freaking legend. What do you see out of Drew?
Man, Drew, first of all, Drew got that swag. Y'all might not see it, but Drew got that swag. He got it. Like, that's the first quarterback I ever played with, like, to where I seen, like, just come in the huddle. Not on no cocky stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you know how the way you walk, you could tell if that person think he got swag. Drew Brees come in the huddle, rubbing his hands, just walking in with swag. And when he hit the field, it shows. Like, he played with confidence. Like, he understands the game. Like, he know where everybody's gonna be on the field. Every day in practice, as he could throw a curl, he could throw a comeback to the right side, but he gonna go through all his progressions every time. And it's just every time. Bro, I never saw this in a quarterback. Like, my quarter, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but Drew he got more swag, more confident, and he's a great leader.
You know, it's crazy that he sees that. So when I was there, he did the same thing. So he'll go through his progression. So say he says it's a curl on the right side. He'll throw the curl, but he'll go through his second progression, his third, his fourth.
And fake throw him.
And fake throw every one. And he'll check every one to know, okay, you guys are in the right spot. It's for him, and it's also, okay, all you guys are in the right spot. And that's a trick I learned from him, that that's how he remembers a lot of the plays or a lot of the concepts by doing that, you know. So, and with that sauce, he said that swag, he got the sauce. I can't lie. But he used to get me hyping.
I'm telling y'all, man.
It's different. Yeah. It's different, man.
Just how he walk.
Hey, Rabbit, so you got a big game on. Go ahead.
I tell y'all what. When we play this Sunday, watch every time Drew Brees walk to the huddle to call the play. Watch how he walked to the huddle. Just look at it, and then we'll have this conversation again after we do what we do.
For sure. So question, when you see that on the defensive side, what type of confidence do that give the defense?
That build you up, man. That's your quarterback. That's the leader of your team. That's the head honcho. So when you see that, it's like, oh my God, we got a ball.
We got a ball. See, that's the stuff that we feed off each other. Like, offense feed off the defense. When defense balling, the offense is feeding off of that. We feed off each other.
And it kind of goes to tell you how a defense or a team can feel if you don't have a quarterback that you know that can help you win. Yeah. The defense is demoralized before you kind of go into the whole thing. Darren's crazy. D-Mac. Hey, Rabbit, today's Tuesday, so in the NFL, Tuesdays are your day off. Do you get your game plan for the game on Wednesdays, or do you guys already have your game plan? Not that you can tell us, but you guys already game planning for the game on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, man. Coach shoot them out when? Yesterday, last night. Shoot them out, shoot you a text. You know, nowadays we got iPads, so we use the iPads a lot.
Yep.
He shoot them out, the game plan, and we just look over it until we get in on Wednesday.
I just don't see Trubisky testing you on Sunday, bud. We'll be bringing that ball back home to Florida. Big facts.
Hey, man. Ain't no pressure, baby.
4:40 in the afternoon, Bears and Saints getting together. And I'll tell you what, Janoris, you may or may not know this. A lot of people around here hate the Packers. I'm one of those guys. Listen, I root for Satan against the Bears. So I'm definitely rooting for the Saints against the Bears. Sure. It's going to be a good one. And a lot of people get to see your personality now. I think there are going to be some Janoris Jenkins fans around here, too.
Now, we're going to take it away from football real quick.
Hey, man, I hope so.
When you initially got to the Saints, how did you like the city? How do you like New Orleans?
Bruh, to be honest, like, I'm not a guy that just like go out and I don't go out like I might go out to eat, but I don't just hang out as people would think I do. As much as people would think I hang out.
Yeah.
Basically, bro, I just go get food, come home, go to the store with my family, come home. Like,
that's what I'm getting to. So what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant? Mine is Nia's.
Where's that? Is that in the French Quarter?
It's in Mid-City.
Oh, okay. You coastal to like the fashion district, like by that area a little bit?
I'm right in Mid-City.
Okay, I know where he's at. Because my favorite spot out there was Mr. J's,
Right.
the steakhouse.
The steakhouse, yeah. I mean,
That was my
I'm
favorite.
more like a Chad. Tell him, Chad. I eat the regular, man.
I would tell him. I mean, Rabbit's so much different. It's kind of like people
Miyakos.
thinking who I am just from your personality, but Rabbit's truly just a homebody, family man. You know, has a very small circle, and you know, keeps the people that he loves close to him, and he ain't really out for the fame. It's not something he's really always wanted. He likes to stay away from the fame. He likes to do his job and take care of his family and be with the people he loves. He don't really have time for, you know, people that he don't really know or don't love. He's going to spend his time with the people he loves and cares about.
Respect.
Talk about that. All the homies back at the crib.
Huh?
All the homies back at
Yeah,
the crib.
that's it.
That's it.
All right,
sure.
man. Last thing. So question, you have a small circle, right? Did you do anything for your circle? Like
Yeah.
once you made it, you got the bag. Like what do you do for your was it business together, business ventures? They got rollies. You did. I mean, what's going on? What happened?
No, I gave them.
They're the legends.
I
They're
gave
the
out my
legends.
boys
Tell
a
them.
chain. I gave out my
So he's
boys
got
a
a group,
chain,
he's-
man.
Uh-huh.
Like all of us grew up together. Basically, we played football all the way through college. So like we've been close since like age 6. You feel me? So it's like I made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that made it. So it was only right that I show my love back, because when I was up, they was there. When I was down, they all was there. You feel me? So it's like that was like my second family outside of my real family,
Right.
my homeboy.
For sure.
Yeah, the closeness that I see with him and the guys is truly amazing. I mean, like brothers, even though they're not blood brothers. It's amazing.
Yeah, Chad done
for
been
sure.
out there with us, man.
Yeah. I'm allowed in the muck now. I'm allowed in the muck. Ain't nobody giving me. A matter of fact, I'll tell them a story. They're in like the championship game, and me and Rabbit go down to the game, and it's halftime, and me and Rabbit, I think, are gonna go get a little drink. Next thing he go come with me. He just walks right into the locker room like he owns the whole school, he's the head coach. Yeah, and we walk into the halftime of the game, and Rabbit just walks in there. I'm just sitting back, and that's about it. But last question I got for you, Rabbit. If we had to put $100,000 on the line and we had to run a 40-yard dash versus you and Bill, Dwight Bentley, who's going to win that race, Rabbit?
No
Who gonna
pressure.
win? I'm gonna win.
Who's going to win the 40-yard dash between you and Dwight?
I'm gonna win. Rabbit gonna win.
You hear that, Dwight? You hear that, Bill? He going to beat you, bud.
Here, Dwight.
Hey man,
Yeah,
good.
man.
Best of luck. It's a pleasure chatting with you. You got it figured out. No pressure. I think that's something everybody should live with. And this Sunday we'll be rooting you on against the Bears. Best of luck, man.
Tell Drew I said what up, dog.
I appreciate it, my man. Thanks.
All right, Rabbit.
problem.
Always love you, bud. Tell
right.
Gina I love her.
All
All
right.
right, Janoris Jenkins kindly joining us here
AKA Jack
on
Rabbit.
Woodward Sports. I'm going to tell you something, Chad, and I'm serious when I say this. My perception of what Janoris Jenkins was and my perception of what he is are in two different places. Because you know what? Here's the issue, and we're all guilty of this,
Yes.
right? You read things, you see things, you hear things, and then you get a chance to talk to the dude, and it's like, that's a cool dude.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
But now I'm not
There
going to lie to you.
he
I
is.
like it. The man, the myth,
the legend.
No disrespect to him. I wish I could say he was still part of us, but he'll always be part of us. From the Philadelphia Eagles. Darius Slay kindly joining us. And for, hey, Darius, really appreciate you taking the time, man. How you been?
I've been good in this slate.
Big boy Slay.
Big play Slay.
What's good?
The one, the only one of us. You know that. Darius, we were just talking about this. It's such a difficult thing. Look, you were one of us. You immersed yourself in the community. People are still crying that you left, but what was it like when that came about? You had no choice. You go to Philly. How tough was that on you and your family?
It was pretty tough, man. Just packing up and moving. Good thing it was during the off season, so we had time to make adjustments, get our kids situated. So, but at the end of the day, man, you know, this is a business, and I was happy to be an Eagle.
Good. Real quick, man, it's good to see you in good health, man. It's been a minute, man. How's life? How's the fam?
Everybody good, man. You know, we be chilling. You know, me beating up my kids, me, you know, doing what I do best. You know, everybody growing, man. Got dogs now. I got added to the house, so
you got dogs now.
Yes, sir.
Got extended.
You know,
real quick, man, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you real quick. Now, we spent some time together with the Detroit Lions we played together for about 3 to 4 years. When you came in, you had some important leadership in the DB room. How influential was Rasheed Mathis with your career and your growth?
Oh, great, man. He helped me be the man I am today. Helped me be a professional, and with being GQ, being young at the time, he finished grooming me up. So you know, Tudell did a great job with me. Then you know we had Dig and Hedabo. I had a great leadership. Guys took me on their wing and made sure I was good, made sure I was in the right spot. And, like I said, helped me be a professional, man. They did a great job with me.
For sure. And me and Sean talks about this all the time, about how important it is to have that type of leadership into a room when you're coming in as a young player, because they're going to give you tips that other young players can't give you because they haven't experienced it yet. Moving forward, though, with the Lions, what was the difference in the locker room when you had Caldwell versus Matt Patricia? And what was your respect factor?
Really, man, it was just mostly like a, you know, respect thing, man. You know, Caldwell treated us with respect. Be honest, it was Caldwell that had more rules, but Caldwell did it in a professional more way. As in, like, you know, he always used to be a big issue with our shirts tucked in during practice, and you know, and he ain't go wrong about it. He ain't cuss you out about it. He just politely just say, "Hey, tuck your shirt," or you know, or you're fine. And he give you one warning, and then your fine is. You know, it wasn't that big of a deal, you know, other than with Matt Patricia, it's probably more like, you know, MF and you and all the kind of other stuff with it. So, you know, I say Caldwell was just more like, you know, more of a manly about it, just handle it like as a man and not as a college kid. You know, we're all grown men. He handled that as a grown man situation.
Yeah. And that's one thing I got from Caldwell, because a lot of players who played for Caldwell, we swear by him. Because he was a great coach. Like you say, he treated us like men. You think that played a part in a lot of you guys being shifted off because you guys didn't take that type of talking to you per se? Because I know guys like you and Diggs, you guys have strong personalities. You think that played a part in you guys leaving? Nothing to do with on the field, off the field?
I mean, I won't say enough part about it, but you know, like I said, that didn't fit their kind of culture when guys had, you know, spoke up. So, you know, we came up from you know, coming on the Caldwell when he listened to us as in his opinion and what he want best for the team. That Caldwell do to listen to us. You know, with Matt Patricia, just more like it's his way or it ain't gonna work. And so, you know, guys had a lot to say about it. You know, I was one of them. You know, Quandre was one of them. You know, so we just, you know, we're trying to make it right. You know, we weren't trying to be a hard head. You know, we just going off what we was taught and how we approach and respectfully. You know, so but it ain't not how it worked. But we all in better spots now.
Good.
Darius Slay, still weird to say it, Philadelphia Eagle. I feel like I should be saying Detroit Lion, but kindly joining us. You know, Darius, you talk about when you're a young player, and the Lions are going through this right now with Jeff Okudah. Look, you were highly touted coming out of Mississippi State. It's not an easy position. And I mean, you hear the term all the time, an island. What kind of things did you learn from your first year to your second year? What would you tell a young corner today?
Just to stay confident, man. I'll talk to Jeff a lot, man. That's my little homie, one of my little brothers. So I stay in contact with him every time I possibly can. So, man, when I was telling him during his little rookie slump, man, you know, everybody had it. I had a bad rookie year. You know, I got benched 3 times by Swartz my rookie year. My first game of the year against Minnesota, second game against Arizona, and the third game, back to back. So, you know, I understand how you felt, and so I try to motivate him. And what I told him best to do is just keep playing and keep learning, man. And try to follow your veterans. I've been there and done that. And, I was trying to talk him through it while I was going through Philly over here. But you know, if I was there, it'd probably be a lot different.
That's good. That's real good. I ended up talking to one of your teammates. We actually had him on the show about a week ago. BG.
Mm-hmm.
How's BG in the locker room?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. How's BG in the locker room?
Man, he's the best, man. Most energizing guy, man. Very caring dude, man. He risk it all for you, man. He's another part of the reason I wanted to be in Philly too, man. Just working out with him because we worked out together in the off season, right there in Detroit. And man, he's a very encouraging man. I appreciate him, man. The way he go out there and work. Proud of him definitely after this year, man. Put up his first coach of the year. He went crazy. Watching him put the work in, is crazy.
You know, I got to ask you, a couple people have asked, you know, on the social media about what it was like for you. You had some of those early ups and downs as a young player, and your head coach at the time is Coach Schwartz. Well, you come full circle, you end up playing with Coach Schwartz again. Number one, what was that like? Number two, how is Coach Schwartz? You know, I know he said he's going to take a year away, and he had an issue with his eyes. I mean, give him our best from all of Detroit, but what was that like for you?
It was great, man. Getting back with Schwartz, man. He's a good dude, man. Smart coach. Try to put you in the best position to make plays, man. And unfortunately, man, I was wishing to keep working with him, but you know, his health issues, and you know, I'm reaching out to him, man. I hope he do the best he can, recover, man, because you know, I wasn't here along with him, but a lot of guys can tell that you know, he was kind of, you know, sick, I guess. But you know, with me coming in and not knowing, and knowing at the end of the year was kind of sad for him, man, because like I said, he's got a lot of heart, man. He got a lot of passion about the game. You know, he put his foot first, and go hard, man. I appreciate him. So, man, I'm hoping for a speedy recovery for him, man. I hope I see him back in this game again and making calls.
Good. We're gonna take a little pivot now. We know that you've always been into the communities, both in Detroit and also in Philly. Like, what do you have going on outside of football right now that you that's taking up a lot of your that's going to take up a lot of your off-season time?
Man, me playing some Warzone, man. Me playing a video game. That's
Well,
all I
every
do.
time.
For the most part, if I ain't do every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time. If I ain't got nothing to do with kids or anything, I'm in my game room locked in, shoot somebody in the face.
You know what it is though? This is a good stress reliever to get on Call of Duty. So it's funny though. Hold on, look at my boy Art real quick. Put the camera on you, Art. And so real quick, so me and Art, we have these tournaments, right? Between me and him, he'll get his team together, I get my team together, and we'll go play Warzone or multiplayer. He beat me in 1 versus 1. I ain't gonna lie, he's good with the sticks out there. He kept killing me. I couldn't beat him in that. But when we go to Warzone, we play Plunder. Their team can't see us at all. Like, it's not even close. They can't see us at all. All right, and so we have these things. So who else played? Yeah. So you know, who else? Jamal Agnew's on there. So I'm gonna get his gamer tag. We're gonna hop on. I've already asked you for your gamer tag already. I need it. I'm saying we can hop on one time, see how it is.
I got you. I'll send it over.
All right, send it over. He's probably use a Mac 10.
I just got put on it, really. I really is the MP5 guy, but now I'm going to that Mac 10. It's been dropping me too much now. I had to go upgrade it. We just had that double XP up, so I done really gained. I done going crazy on it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a tip. I'm gonna give you one tip. That if you use your gun like in Warzone, say you're playing Plunder, when you go get a contract, like if it's a scavenger, if it's a recon, if it's a supply run, when you get it and you got that gun, it'll level your gun up like 3 times as fast. Just a little tip. I don't know if you
bet.
Yeah, I don't know. And I just got hip to that through your homeboy Art. I was playing with some of your teammates, Art, and they put me onto that. I'm
You're
like,
playing with my friends now?
Yeah, they came to add me. They wanted to join my team.
Darius can get it too if he wants to do a 1v1. You can get it too.
Man, you ain't spanking me. I'm a different breed out there.
Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Hey, listen. So we had real talk, because we have our gaming branch here too. So we're gonna have a stream. We're gonna stream it. We're gonna play. You let me know when you're ready. We're gonna set it up. You give it a couple weeks to get your six together, get your squad together, and then we'll bring it on. Then our squad versus your squad. What's up? Or it could be me and you versus Art. It really don't matter.
That's nothing. I got my dogs ready to go right now.
Love it. Hey, one of the coolest things he did, Darius, I mean, I thought this was one of the coolest things in your time here, is when you would put the call out in the social media saying, hey, what game am I going to this weekend? I want to watch a game and all that. Is that something you're continuing in the Philadelphia area? Because, I'm sure you know this, but people got hyped when you were, hey, Darius Slay's in the house. He's coming to watch, our school ball or whatever. Is that something you're continuing now in Philly?
Well, yeah, I would be continuing it, but the virus won't let there's no games going on, no nothing. So,
True.
I just attend my kids' games. So yeah, man, I will be sure continuing that, man. I like to support kids and stuff like that. So, man, honestly, I'm gonna be up there probably pretty soon to go see my boy Rocky play. I've been watching him play since high school, so I'm going to support him in Michigan too.
Okay.
Michigan State at that. Michigan State.
Let me know when you touch back down to. Are you in Philly right now?
Yeah, I'm in Philly right now.
Okay, so you set up shop. That's where you set up shop at in the off season. You'll be in Philly the whole time.
Yeah, until the house is done in Houston.
Big money.
Good stuff. Love
big money.
Hey, Darius, before we let you go, obviously you're always going to be a part of us here, and it's cheesy. We watched you grow, and that means something. We watched you struggle, and people going, "This guy's a bum," and then we watch you become an All-Pro. Any message for the fans out here? Because I'm serious. I know I told you this before when we were sitting at Ford Field. Dude, you were a fan favorite, period, end of story. And I hope you felt it, but any message for the fans out there?
Oh, yeah, of course. Man, I always leave the message to keep believing, man. That city like to do a lot of fighting, and, they take pride in winning, and they love the Lions, man. So I always appreciate the fans the most, man, around there, because of the fact that their support system is crazy, up or down. Like I said, I remember times when we had no kind of fans, about 30,000. It sounded like you got 100,000 in there. So, man, like I said, I appreciate each and one of the fans that was out there, man. I appreciate everyone that supported me in Detroit. I know, man. Like I said, I'm always going to be in line at Hart. But, I spent my 7 years there, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
All right, last thing before you go. Did you retire to FIFA?
Oh, yeah, I retired at FIFA, man. It ain't like I used to be. I used to be the champ. I was spanking everybody. Now I got too technical.
Now too technical. I think we talked about this before. I played FIFA one time. We were in London. I played against Cassius, and I beat him. And that was the last time I ever played it. I never played it again. Were you there? Were you down there when I beat him?
Yeah,
I beat him one time. I was 1-0. I said I'll never play again. I said I'm retire undefeated. Held the belt up because he didn't play that much either. So it was a perfect game. Like if I would have played against Slay, he probably would have beat me like 30-0. Like it would have been bad. It would have been terrible.
Crazy. We was going crazy with that.
Always going to root for this guy. I'm Darius. I'm going to say this while you're here. I told your former teammate this. You were one of the coolest guys, win or lose. You came out and talked. You would come up and talk after the games. Even I know you didn't want to after a tough loss, but all pro, man, on and off the field. We wish you continued success. No doubt about it.
Appreciate that, man. For real, appreciate it.
All right, everybody, Darius Slay, man.
I say to myself,
listen,
that's a Detroit champion.
Sean, tell me another team that went to the All-Star game and the whole starting five started.
Beautiful. Wasn't it beautiful? Rip Hamilton joining us. Joik Bell, former Detroit Lion. I'm Sean Baligian. Rip, really appreciate you joining us, man. How are you?
All good, man. All good. What's going on, fellas?
Slow motion, man. I appreciate you coming on today. I just had to do it one time. Somebody said I had to do it when you came on. So bear with me right here. Detroit basketball. Hey, I used to love hearing that when I went to the game. Do you miss that?
Oh, man. Yes, sir. You know I do, man. That was like, that's a part of Detroit culture right there, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like just hearing Mason yell that out, man, it gets the adrenaline rush back. You know, I'm thinking about putting my jersey back on after you said it like that.
Hey, you know what, Rip? Let's be honest. Yes, sir, is part of Detroit culture as well. I mean, I'm sure there's not a day that goes by that somebody doesn't yap that at you, right?
No, you're absolutely right. They still do. That's the first thing that's one of the first things they come up and say to me first. The first thing they say is, "Where's your mask? Why aren't you wearing it?"
Oh, okay.
And then two, can you say yes, sir, for me?
Yes, sir. All right. What about Bar Don't Lie?
You know what? That's she's thing, right? So
that's
you know, anytime you watch a game now and you see like a bad call and if someone's very close to the mic and they miss the first free throw, I mean, players all across the world, that's the first thing they say.
Across
Ball
the world.
Don't lie.
Bar don't lie.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Detroit
Detroit.
right there.
Yeah, for people who don't know, now you know that's that come. And you hear that all around New York, Florida, Cali, Texas, anywhere you hear it. That came from Detroit, baby.
Rip Hamilton kindly
That's
joining
Detroit
us.
grown
We were
right there.
just
That's all about Detroit.
You know, Rip, we were just talking about that. I never thought the day would come where we'd legalize gambling and you have, legalize online sports betting as well. I know you're a part of it now. I just saw the shirt, but for people out there that aren't aware, make them aware. Tell me about PointsBet.
Well, PointsBet is a sports book app, right? And the one thing that I love about it is probably one of the fastest app, especially when it comes to bets in the world. And that was the thing that I felt that my brand and them kind of relate to. One, because I was a basketball player that ran off 1,000 screens. I was like the Energizer Bunny. Nobody could stop me. I felt as though I was the best in-shape type of player in the league. And with them they're very similar because they own their own technology. And just being on the broadcasting in the broadcasting world, you see that now a lot of these sponsorships that's come across our desk is with sports betting, right? And this is the thing that back in the day when we played, Jordan, it was like, okay, it was like the kiss of death when you talk about gambling and you're talking about sports, especially in the locker room, right? But now this is more acceptable. This is $1 billion industry, right? And the one thing that I've seen over the years is how the NBA has got behind it, and Adam Silver has got behind it. As you see now in Detroit, the Pistons got behind it, the Red Wings got behind it, the Tigers also. So this is something that's a part of our culture now. Like the world is changing right now, right? So it's either you jump on board or you be a dinosaur. So this is a situation right here where the world is evolving. It's the sports book gambling now that PointsBet has opened up a sports book bar, a PointsBet bar right at Little Caesar Arena, where now it enhances the experience of a fan. And you don't have to buy a ticket to the game. You can actually walk from the street and come in there, come right into the bar, enjoy the experience, the atmosphere with the TVs, watching games. If you want to place bets, you could. But I think it's just enhancing the game in sports right now.
Yeah, I think is that Mike's Pizza Bar? Is that what you're talking about?
Down at Little Caesars?
Yeah, the Mike Pizza, good pizza, good everything in there. Real quick, so as a player and now successful businessman, we always get these deals that come across the table, like you said. What prompted you to say, you know what? I want to take the gambling route? Like, what was so intriguing about this that made you say, all right, this is it for me?
Well, when you look at it, right, growing up as a kid in coastal Pennsylvania, right, I'm just, just being honest, like, as a competitor, even when you go out to the basketball court or football field or whatever, when you with your friends, the first thing you say is, oh, I bet you I can knock down 3 threes in a row. How much you want to bet, right? Is it $5? Is it a nickel? Is it a penny? Whatever it is, right? Just being competitive, you just want to win, right? And once I seen that the NBA backed it, right? Because that was huge for me, right? Because, you like I said before, in the locker room, you always hear about, hey, guys, stay away from gambling, stay away from gambling sites. Don't, you've seen the Pete Rose thing that happened back in the day. It's like, this is just not good. But now that you see the world evolving, right, and you see that, okay, players understand, all right, you know what, we make a lot of money. That's something that we just don't want to get into. That's not a part of who we are as a brand, as a person. I think that now when you look on the other side, especially from a broadcasting standpoint, and you look at the game from the outside in, you see that the world is evolving as a whole, right? And the first time I actually seen how the whole betting world was I did an appearance for March Madness, and I went to Las Vegas, right? And just the atmosphere with guys all across the world coming to these different casinos, going there just to be in that atmosphere, to get that experience of betting on games and being involved in it. And you're betting 40 to 50 games a day just from the NCAA tournament. It just brought a different experience to the game. And now you see that what PointsBet did is now built like a hub actually inside of these arenas. Now you can come to a game with your kids, with your family, experience the game, go to the sports bet bar, hang out, place a bet on whatever it is. And also you can name your own bet. That's what separates them from everybody else. You can go in there and say, okay, Blake Griffin just hit 5 threes last night, right? I want to put a bet in that says that he makes more than 5 threes tonight. Now you can place that bet because remember, PointsBet owns its own technology, so you're able to do fun and creative things like that.
Okay.
I love it, because Rip, you nailed it. There is a rush, and by the way, it's where Sports and Social was in LCA. There is a rush that you can't explain. I mean, you guys probably experienced going to Vegas in the off season or something, but as a guy who grew up putting a little coin down on some game, you can't explain that rush, and to have it in the arena, Rip, I mean, that's a double win now for fans.
Yeah, I do. I think it just enhances the experience. Some people are into gambling, some people are not, right? So for the ones that are, I mean, this is a premium platform for guys that just want to come in and enhance their experience and still enjoy the game and have fun doing it with other guys that wants to enjoy the game that way also.
So, unlike you and Sean, I will be new to the sports gambling. I mean, I've never even done the fantasy football. I haven't even done that yet. But on the app, but on the app,
I just got into fantasy football too.
That's great. That's great. So on you guys' app, will it have like a betting one-on-one, kind of like in the stroll bar, where I can kind of learn more about what you guys are in the process of how to bet? Is there something like that on the app as well?
Yes, it's tailored to the actual person, right? So to answer that question, you can make it as simple as possible. You can just say, hey, you know what, I want to bet against this team versus this team, right? You can say, all right, you know what, I want to make up my own bet, right? Like whatever you want your experience to be, the app can provide that for you. That's the best part. I love about the thing is it's kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm watching the game tonight, and I feel as though that Derrick Rose is going to get 7 assists tonight, right? So you can say, oh, I want to bet that Derrick Rose gets 7 assists. Very simple, very easy. They're able to put that bet up, and then now you're in the game.
Okay. So I want to get this right though for the fans. So it's kind of like playing craps. Like you roll a 6, hit the 6. or you can do a bunch of side bets. That's kind of like what it is. You know, I bet that this team is going to win, but also I bet Derrick Rose is going to have 7 assists. I bet Blake Griffin puts up 30 points. I bet Josh Jackson has, 17 points. So that's like the side bets, outside of, who wins the game. Got it.
That's a good way to explain it. PointsBet is an app.
Yes, very similar to craps. Like you said, you can get in there and you got 40 different bets, right? People are saying, hey, why do I bet on black? Why do I bet on red? Why do I bet on just the straight 6 and the different odds?
What's the feel?
Right? So it's a very similar situation. You kind of create your own experience on there. However you want to bet, however you want to enjoy the game, it will be there at a very simple platform that's quick, that's easy, and that is faster than all the other competitors.
Rip Hamilton, he's involved with PointsBet. You can find it at Little Caesars. You can get it on the app. It's really the next level, guys. That's what's happening. Rip, I want to ask you one thing about 2004, and I'm sure everybody talks to you about you guys pounding the Lakers, but there's one game that sticks out to me, and when they finally blew up the Palace, this started on social media. Game 7 against New Jersey was the loudest I've ever heard an arena in my lifetime, and it was amazing. I tweeted that out, and everybody that was at that game said the same thing. Does that stick out to you? Do you feel that? Is that a big memory for you, that particular Game 7 against New Jersey?
Well, to be 100% honest with you, the memory that really stands on my mind was the year before when they swept us and we were actually in Jersey and everybody had their brooms out. And being in the locker room at that moment, we said to ourselves, "Oh, this will never happen again. We'll get them back." And we really worked our tails out, especially in the offseason and coming to the next season. So yes, the arena was loud and screaming, and the Palace of Auburn Hills was jumping. But at that moment, we were really thinking about the year prior to that when the fans brought in brooms when we actually got swept.
Great stuff.
That's crazy.
To this day, I can't believe it's almost 17 years. It's unbelievable. Talk to me what you see out of this Piston team, because, Rip, my humble opinion, I think Troy Weaver has a direction. It might take a little while, much like it did for your team, but it seems to me like there's a direction with this team now. What are you seeing out of this current Piston squad?
Well, I definitely like Troy Weaver at the helm, man. I think that we need a leader, right? And I think that the one thing when you're building a roster and you're building a team, you have to create a identity. Like who are you? Like what are you about? Like how can I get the fans engaged? And when you look at the prior teams, especially the bad boys, you looked at Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas and all the great players, they had an identity: hard work, toughness, grit. They was going to grind out wins, right? Like you wasn't going to out tough that team. So when we came in 2004, we had a very similar identity, and our identity was represented by the city of Detroit, right? Hard working, grind, going to work every day. And when people came in, they understood what the team was about. So I think Troy is coming in and doing something very similar, trying to get back to the old bad boy days, trying to get back to the old 14. Building that culture inside the locker room where the fans can be engaged, where the fans can come out and say, all right, you know what? This team represents the city. And as you see, he went out and got a lot of two-way guys that are long, that are lanky, that are hard-nosed, grit guys that can defend multiple positions, guys that can have that sense of toughness. But again, it's going to take time because you're going to add pieces during the journey. I know people say, oh, you know what? I want to win now. Yes, we all do want the team to win now. I want the team to win now just so I can have bragging rights when I'm talking to a bunch of my other friends. But I just think that just be patient. It's going to take time, but I think that he's doing a good job of going out getting guys that fit that Detroit type of mold.
That's definitely. And I want to say this before we let you go, but my daughter, great grandmother, who's now passed away, you were her favorite player. Sorry
to hear that, man.
No, man. Every game she would have her Detroit Piston blanket, and she'll turn the game on. She'll have the blanket over her legs, and she'll watch every Pistons game. And you was her favorite player.
No, beautiful.
And I just had to tell you that before it slipped my mind, for real.
Hey, before we let you go, Rip, let everybody know how they can get involved in PointsBet. I mean, this is an exciting time. People like me, I never thought this was going to happen. It's here. It's real. Let people know how they can get involved with PointsBet.
Easy. I mean, especially living in the Michigan area right now, and even all across the world, you can actually download the app, right? But you got to be in the state of Michigan to actually bet. But right now, you can just go to your Apple store, download the app. Android, you can download it to your Samsung phone. Very simple, very easy. You can go on there and just, right now you can't actually bet on there right now, just as they're building up the software and everything else like that. But you can still go on there and win fun prizes. You can win up to $25,000 as I speak. So just go to the Apple store, download the app, and be ready to get started.
You're a Pennsylvania kid. You went to UConn, but I think you know this. You're always going to be one of us, Rip. We're very glad to have you. One of the best memories ever as sports fans. That was a Detroit team. Yeah. He was a big part of it, Rip Hamilton.
For sure.
Hey, Bud, continued success, man. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for coming on, Rip.
I still got Detroit in my blood, man. That never leave.
Never leave.
Best of luck to you. Joining us right now, he was a big part of the Renaissance around here. I don't think, Joy, guys like you and our guest understand what a renaissance it was when you both kind of burst on the scene, because you both kind of burst on the scene around the same time. He was there for the whole 2011 season. You came after that, but it was so dark for so long around here that when that 2011 season came around and the Lions had a chance to book their own ticket into the playoffs on that Christmas Eve, and I told you that was like a magical day to me. I'm serious.
What year was this?
2011, and
right when I got here.
And they, all you have to do just beat the Chargers, and you don't have to back in. And they went out there and they smashed the Chargers that day. I know to you guys as competitors, you're just like, hey man, I'm doing my job. We're supposed to be there. For us as fans, we were finally over that long nightmare, and this guy was a big part of changing things around here, to be sure. Let's welcome him in. Stephen Tulloch kindly joining us on Baligian and Bell this Friday morning. And first of all, Stephen, really appreciate you taking the time. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. First, I want to say condolences to you.
Thank you.
I know that feeling, man. I lost my dad December 20th, and it's always hard to really understand the magnitude when you lose a parent unless you lost one. So, my condolences to you and your family and what you're going through at this time, and my prayers are with you, my man.
Appreciate you, man. Really, and right back at you. You're right. You don't understand it until it happens. So. Much love to you, as well as I'm sure the grieving process is still going on for you. But Stephen, let's talk about your decision to come here to Detroit, because I was just saying before you came on, man, this is a franchise that was deep and dark in the wilderness, and you needed players of your caliber to say, hey, we're going to give Coach Schwartz a chance, or we're going to give Detroit a chance. Talk about that time for you before you came here to Detroit in the summer of 2011.
Well, when I came in the summer of 2011, it was a lockout year. So a lot of uncertainty, not sure in what direction things were going with the NFL and whatnot. And so when gates opened up early August, everyone was scrambling, trying to get onto a team. It was kind of one of the worst times to be a free agent, just because there wasn't a time to kind of go through the process. But nevertheless, Coach Schwartz called me initially. I had a couple of teams in mind that I was interested in going to, but a lot of love and respect for Coach Schwartz and what he's done for me early in my career in Tennessee with the Titans. And I knew I knew his mindset, what he was trying to build. He had guys like Kyle Vandenbosch, guys who I looked up to, and I felt comfortable coming to Detroit. A lot of uncertainty in Detroit. I've heard a lot of things about them before I got there. I know the 0-16 season and whatnot, but one thing I did know is it's a blue-collar city, and for Coach Schwartz to reach out to me, it meant a lot. He expressed the magnitude of him wanting me to be a part of the Lions. And when I got to Detroit, I just fell in love with the city and the organization from day one, and the rest is history.
Look at that. Look at that. My guy Tully, man, what's up?
What's going on, my man?
What's going on? You at the office? Yeah, are you at the coffee shop?
Yeah, I'm at the office right now. I'm at the office, so,
All right, so
stepping away to talk with you.
You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Man of many businesses right now. So it's funny. I talked to Sean, and I talked to the guys a lot about guys who transition out of the league very well. And you're one of those guys. And so I'm always happy to see some of the things you're doing down there in Fort Lauderdale, where you are. And I was able to go down there and check out his home. And when I tell you he has a beautiful home on the water. Beautiful.
Hey, relax, relax.
Beautiful. And Tully is low key. He's a humble guy on camera, but he will let you know some of the things that he's doing. He's not afraid to let you know. So it was cool to go check out his home, and he invited me over. We played a little bit of pool. But real quick, before you left Detroit, you left Detroit before the Matt Patricia era. Were there certain things you heard about the players with Coach Patricia while you were gone, with some of the guys we played with before?
Well, a lot of mixed signals. I think, obviously, when you have a guy like Coach Caldwell, which is probably, out of my 27 years of playing, one of the greatest persons I've ever been around in my life, from a father figure, a mentor, a person that you can really count on to lead you in the right direction, and a person of his word, and a person that treats you like a man, as you know, Joy. So, obviously, I left and went to Philly, for my last year. Patricia came in right after I retired. But a lot of mixed signals with a lot of guys, as you know, a lot of veteran guys especially, who've been around and had the opportunity to have a guy like Coach Caldwell, speak to us on, the 2 Wednesday meetings were, and how he spoke to us and how we just got geared up to hear his message and how it motivated us and how he treated us, number one. So a lot of guys were kind of, at odds or felt a little indifferent about, the new coaching staff and how things were handled with that situation. And, I continuously got phone calls or text messages from other guys that were currently on the team about how things were going and how much of a change it was with Coach Patricia. I'm not here to talk bad about anybody, but I definitely know that it was a night and day situation for a lot of players, and it took a lot of adjusting for players to kind of grasp. But I think the team right now is going in a good direction. They made some necessary changes, and I'm excited as a fan now and as a former player of the Lions to see kind of how this thing shapes out.
Yeah, it's I had this question from one of the guys at the studio, so I said, because they asked me the same question. I was like, let me ask Tully, because I kind of know we kind of cut a little bit from the same cloth. Mine's a little bit thicker, but real quick.
Okay.
but real quick, did you, when you were in Philly, were you there with Slay at all a little bit, or he came right after you left, right after you retired?
So Slay came right after I left. So
right.
They went to the Super Bowl, the year after I left, and then I think Slay came the year after that.
Okay, and so what would you? I'm just asking. They told me that so I got to ask you, because I'm kind of interested in knowing too. So what would have happened if Matt Patricia said to you what he said to Slay? So reportedly, Slay told ESPN that after he was traded to the Lions, traded from the Lions, Patricia told him to stop jocking another man. How would you respond to that if he told you that in front of the team?
I think me being, a captain of the team, number one, and at that point probably a 10, 11-year veteran, I would probably have to stand up and say something in front of the team. I think the team knows my character and how I handle myself day to day on and off the field. And when somebody kind of challenges you or questions your manhood or whatnot, or question you as a man in front of a setting like a team, I'd feel some kind of way about it. I'll probably do it respectfully, number one. But I think I'd have to, address it in front of the team at that moment. Not to be disrespectful, but to know that I put a lot of time and effort into this league. I've sacrificed a lot for this team and organization. And, for someone to come in there and not know too much about me as a man, to assume or make assumptions, I'll definitely feel some kind of way about it. I think Slade, had a lot of composure and holding it in. Slade is probably one of the best corners to come out of the Lions in many years, and a lot of respect for him. And as you know how Slay is, we're both New Year's Day babies, right? He's a go-getter. So
sure.
So for him to compel himself and to hold the manner in which he did and not release that statement until after he left. It speaks a lot to the diet of character, who he is. But he's better than me. I don't think I'd be able to hold my tongue in that matter. I think I'd have to address it in front of the team and kind of pull Patricia aside and just kind of have a one-on-one talk with him. But he definitely handled it in a good manner.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Stephen, I wanted to ask you, I have heard so many, including your boy Joik here, talk up Coach Caldwell like you wouldn't believe. And, hey, did the team get to where we all wanted it to be? No, we didn't. We had some good moments. We can talk about what went wrong another day. But what was it about Coach Caldwell? Because, I mean, you said in your years of football, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said in your 27 years of football, you didn't have a guy like that. How could you explain to people what Coach Caldwell meant to you and to the other 53 in that room?
You're just like a father figure. It's a man that treated everyone the same. I didn't care if you were Matt Stafford or you were the 53rd man on the roster. I mean, everyone was dealt with in the same matter. Transparency, I believe even in my business today, I think transparency is key. You say what you're going to do what you're going to say. Treat people with respect. No matter you're the janitor or who you are, you always respect people and live in gratitude. And that's who he was and who he is as a person of gratitude and respect. And across the board, from front office down to the bottom person, and just a lot of love and respect, on a day-to-day basis. A knowledgeable man that gives us insight just about not about football but about life and how to carry yourself and how to conduct yourself on and off the field, and supporting charity events for different players, and just a man that goes above and beyond for his players and his team and his staff. And it's a lot of the tools that he exemplified when I played with the Lions, I carried over to my business here now with Circle House Coffee. Is treating people with respect, treating your customers consistently, producing, showing up, giving it all you have day in, day out. And that's what he exemplified to the team. Although things didn't quite go as well as we wanted to, I think it was treading in the right direction, considering the circumstances, that he was dealt with. But when I tell you a man of character, integrity, I haven't met many people like Coach Caldwell, and I'm just glad to have the opportunity to have been around him and have the opportunity for him to coach me for the time he did.
Stephen Tulloch kindly joining us here, Baligian and Bell. I know we have a special guest to ask a question in a second. And obviously, we want to hear about what's going on in your life as well. Joik, you let me know when that special guest wants to come up and ask a question. Yeah, he's. I think he's debating. Oh, you want him to come up now, Joik?
Yeah, you ready?
All right, come on up. Yeah, Stephen, we have a special guest that wants to ask you a question, so I believe he's on with us now.
Oh, what's up? Go right here. Okay, you got it. I'm sorry, son.
Back when you were in the NFL, who were your top 5 QBs that you enjoyed sacking? I can't hear them. I don't know who I'm talking to.
There's a couple of them. I had an opportunity to get Cam Newton. That was one of those processes that he's a big man to bring down. Who else? Like Tony Romo. I mean, there's an onslaught of them. It's crazy. I didn't have many of them. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers was a big one too, but I didn't have many sacks. I probably had about 14 or 15 in my career. Coach really didn't blitz me much. I had to vacate my assignments to get to the quarterback. But I think those are some of the top ones I remember. It's been about 4 years since I played. Doing 11 years is a lot of games. So those are some good ones.
Steven, you know what's unbelievable? I had a chance to do some pregame coverage for Fox 2 for years, and so what happens is where we shoot is on the side of the field where the visitors are, and you mentioned right. Cam Newton. What people don't understand, Steven, is how big that dude is. He came walking by, and you see him from 15 feet away, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, that's a linebacker or whatever. That is a big man. That's what I think people don't understand is you're going after some big men out there. They look so small on television, but my man is wide.
Yeah, they massive. The quarterback.
Yeah, I think Cam is one of the bigger quarterbacks I played against. I think Ben Roethlisberger.
I would say Ben. I thought Ben might.
Ben was Brian Leftwich was a big guy too.
He was.
But Cam Newton is probably the most athletically, physically sound quarterback I've ever played against, and man, what a specimen.
So real quick, I had a question for you. So you're still close with the organization, and with the changes that are being made, would you like to be one of those voices to help influence this team going farther into the future?
I just love. I mean, I love Detroit. I love the Lions. I wear my mask around, my Detroit Lions mask around. I have my license plate tag. I'm a Lions groupie, I guess you want to say. I just got a lot of love for the city and the fans and the organization, and I think more so the fans. Just how loyal they are through the ups and downs of the years that I've been there, and even previous years before that. I just want to see the organization win. I think we all do. It's time. I think the city deserves it. The fan base deserves it. How many times have we been around the city and people come up to us? I've been a fan for 58 years. My dad just take me to the Silver Dome. It's just you hear those stories year in, year out. And I think this organization and these fans deserve a winning team and deserve a chance to make it to the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. I really believe that. I think this is the most change I've seen since I've been in the organization, top to bottom, that the team has made. I mean, they're showing a level of commitment like none ever before. And so I think, we're optimistic. It's going to take a little time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think the Ford family realizes that, it's time. It's time to really go all in, put all the chips on the table and see what happens. And I'm excited about the moves that were made this offseason and some of the players or some of the coaches now that I watched as players growing up as a kid. Now, obviously being on the coaching staff. So I'm excited to kind of see how that pans out. But I think there's good things ahead for us, and I think the fans have a lot to be optimistic about.
For sure. And this is how big of a fan he is. He even has the Honolulu blue for his Circle House coffee shop color. I love it.
Yeah.
Can you see the logo?
This is the actual logo here. So I don't know what George talking about.
I'm looking at your shirt. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your shirt right there.
Yeah, the shirt. Okay,
yeah. You see
so it? It's a royal blue, but it's close enough.
It's close enough. It's close enough. All right. You know what though? It's funny because me and Tully, we have this thing. We go back and forth, and we get personal, and so we get real personal. And so he has that grin on his face because he know, like we're really holding back right now. Because
I'm waiting.
He's waiting. We're waiting for it, right? And
I got the defense mechanism up.
Yeah, he has it. So it's funny because I remember this. I don't care how long it was. It could be 20 years. I'll never forget this. Me and Tully was going back and forth in the locker room, in the training room. And Bill Bentley was a part of it for a second. And then me and Tully, we took the knife and we saw it going deep. We saw it going deep.
Oh, you did?
Bill Bentley said, I can't play with y'all like that. I can't. He said, I can't do it. He said, y'all got it. Y'all got it. So it's funny. Every time like I'm around with like my son or my daughter and Tully would come out, hey, how's my kids doing? How's my kids doing?
Yeah.
Every time, right? And I come back and I'm not gonna say what I usually say, but I'll talk a little junk and then, but I'll come back and say, well, where's your kids? He's like, I don't got no kids, man. I say, what, the soldiers ain't marching? Right. Soldiers ain't marching?
They're marching.
Oh, man, they ain't marching.
Make it right.
Yeah, they ain't marching.
but you know what I would say. I don't mean to cut you off, Joy, man. Like although we have those things, and you and I are competitors, man. You remind me a lot of myself, and the fact that you've always been told you weren't good enough. You're 40, your bent, whatever it is, wasn't always to par with what scouts want to see, but. Your work ethic and not my work ethic is something that we prided ourselves on, going against each other on one-on-ones and practice and games and just, it's just something that, I have a lot of respect for you, man. Hearing your story, going to, college and being a security guy and never giving up your dreams and almost getting cut and us having that conversation and you coming back and balling out against Washington and just how your career progressed and how you became a fan favorite. But, it goes to show, that will to never give up and want to keep working hard and let the naysayers say that, that you can't do certain things, but motivate yourself to keep proving them wrong. And even to this day, outside of the league, I'm impressed with your show that you have going on and what you're doing. So a lot of respect to you as you keep grinding like you did on the field. So,
I appreciate that. So it's funny. So what he was referring to almost got cut, Sean, was when 2012, right? And we were all together in the Players Lounge. And when you're in training camp, you have meetings upon meetings, and then practice, and then the weight room, and then more meetings. And so you have like a split, you might have 15, 20 minutes here and there between practice and grabbing something to eat, and then going to the next meeting. And so it had to be about 12 to 14 guys in the players' lounge, and we had special team meetings coming up. But we had about a good 20 minutes. So I took like a 10-minute nap, and I woke up to a phone call. It was Galen Duncan. He was the player. He was the player developer, and he said, "Joy, can I have my headphones in?" I said, "What's up, coach?" What's up, Duncan? He said, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm in the players' lounge." Like, the meeting started, and I woke up and I looked around. All of my teammates were gone out of there. Nobody tapped me. Nobody tapped me and said, "Come on." I said, "Oh, this is really, me for me." Like, I just got to look, and that's when I got my first introduction. Like, make sure you don't depend on anybody, just depend on yourself. And so I get to the meeting. The coach asked where I was. I said, "Sorry, coach, I took a nap. I fell asleep. I overslept." He said, "Okay." The next meeting, he took me off of all the other special teams. And Tully came to me in the hallway. He said, "What happened?" And this was like later on in the day, probably like another day or so when he saw it. And I told him, like, I fell asleep. I was late for a meeting. And then I talked to, at the time, my running back coach, and I said, "Coach, what happened?" He asked me what happened. I told him what happened. And I said, "Should I go talk to him one-on-one, apologize?" And, he said, no, that's just, going to make it a bigger distraction. Just leave it alone. It'll blow over. Tully catches me in the hallway and says, "Listen," he said, "what happened? They took you off." And he was worried. He was like, "What happened?" And I told him, he said, "Did you apologize to him?" And I said, "Well, they told me not to." "Who told you that? Who told you?" Who told? I said, on the running back coach. She said, "Man, you better go apologize to that man." Your exact words. "You better go apologize to that man." So that same day I went up to his office. He wasn't there. Went the next day, he wasn't there. I would come in extra early. This particular morning, I think I got there about 5:45, 6, and they had the lights on, the emergency lights on, because the lights weren't on yet for the, I guess, for the day. And so I actually caught him coming out of the cafeteria by himself. Caught him by the elevator. And then we talked briefly, and I told him, like, "Listen, I apologize for being late. That's not my character. It'll never happen again, and I apologize." And he looked me in my eyes and said, "I respect that. I appreciate that." He hopped on the elevator, went upstairs, and that same day he put me back first string on all the special teams. All right. And so that's when, all right, that same day. And so that's when I first got to the team. I didn't really have a name, so my only way onto the team was through special teams. And actually, me and Tully, we talked about this the other day, because something was supposed to happen. And Martin May, you said, "No, we're not gonna do that. We worked too hard to get him here." All right.
Yeah,
so
they're trying to get you out of there.
Yeah, they were trying to get me. They were trying to cut me that day for being late.
No kidding.
Yeah, but Martin May, you said, "No, we're not cutting him. We worked too hard to get him here."
Yeah.
No way. And so they didn't cut me. And so the following year, it's kind of the game that he's talking about, the Washington game, was when I had my first start in the NFL, and then our first win in D.C. The rest is history.
Awesome. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Tully, will you take me back to that day, that Christmas Eve game against San Diego? Because, I told Joy, for fans, and you made reference to this earlier, I mean, everything that had happened the previous few years, 0-16, was still fresh to a lot of people, and I don't think anybody thought that you guys were going to turn it around as quickly as you did that year, and kind of culminating to what happened on Ford Field on Christmas Eve. What do you remember about that day?
I just remember that whole year, right? Obviously, we're coming out of a lockout. There's a bunch of new guys. We're getting Durant, Justin Durant, a couple new linebackers here. We were plugging in, but there was a sense of belief on that team that year. We had a great quarterback. Obviously, we had one of the best players that ever played the game in Calvin. Our defense was strong. We had some young players, Sue and whatnot, and a secondary that was pretty strong with Delmas and Chris Houston. I mean, we were priming up for a great season, and lo and behold, we're able to put ourselves in a position where we control our own destiny. We knew that Christmas Eve game was a special one. Number one, not just for the organization, but for the fans and for the city of Detroit. And we're one game away of controlling our own destiny. So, I mean, that night was an amazing night. Obviously, going against the Chargers, my college quarterback, Phillip Rivers, on NC State, a smack talker, a guy that talks all game, as you know. But to win that game, and it's the first time I've ever beat Phillip in my career, that game. So it was special, number one, to beat him. Number one, to finally break the curse of a 10-year curse of getting to the playoffs. It was just a special moment. I remember us walking around the stadium after the game and just high-fiving the fans and the excitement of the fans and how much it meant to them and how the city was just electrified and on fire for us to make it to the playoffs. And that's what I'm saying. I think we're missing that. We can get that on a continuous basis where we're a playoff team continuously year in and year out. I think it do so much for the city of Detroit, so much for the fan base. Like I said, I'm excited about what's going to transpire here over the next couple of years. Hopefully, let's get back to that point again.
Yeah. So, speaking of getting back to that point, the Lions are at the number 7 pick in the NFL draft this year. What direction do you want to see us go? If you have any thoughts at all.
I think, obviously I'm not in the front office. There's so many moving parts, right? Me speaking from a fan perspective, right? I think obviously losing a guy like Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate, which are electrifying players, and obviously Galladay going to the Giants, I think you have to, as me, just as a fan and watching the Lions, I think you have to go receiver or big time. We have a nice tight end already. We spent the first round draft pick on. You have a proven quarterback coming from LA, from the LA Rams. You have some great draft picks on the table. I think, getting a couple nice receivers to complement what you currently have now, I think will take a lot of pressure off of, the tight end position or the quarterback position to have outlet. But to have a number one receiver, which is very hard to find in this league, and being in a tough division is key. Right now, I don't see a true number one on the team that can take the top off the defense. And I think that's in this league, you have to have that in order to have a successful team to move forward. So I would be, as a fan, excited to hear a nice receiver come off the board at that pick.
This guy, I'm telling you, Mr. Wood, if you're listening, it sounds like the guy that could work for a franchise. Yeah. And Tully, I tell you what, the way you break it down, if you ever want to join the dark side like Joycaz, there's a job for you in this business, man. You can break it down.
Break it down.
Yeah, I love the game. I'm a fan of the game.
Yeah, fan of the game. So with the changes that are being made right now with the Lions, which part of you would like to play for this new regime, if any?
I think just having a player coach, right? It's different. I mean, all coaches are great. Some have knowledge, X's and O's, and it's amazing to hear. So I have some great coaches that didn't play the game, but understand the X's and O's. But I think from a player perspective, right, when you have a guy who's been in the trenches with you and understand what it is to be an athlete, what it is to be a professional athlete, how to take care of yourself and can relate on different situations and games that they've played in, you have a different level of understanding. And I think being able to bring a guy like Mark Brunell and Glenn and all these, Staley and, these legendary players who I grew up watching, Campbell who played for the Lions, I think a lot of these guys understand what it is to be a professional athlete. They played at the highest level for a long period of time. They understand what players are looking for, with transparency in which they're looking for, the consistency in which what they're looking for. I think it builds camaraderie amongst the group and the team that, you have somebody who's been there through that battle with you. And I see that across the board on this staff. And I think a lot of guys can relate to it and truly understand where these coaches are coming from because they've been there. A lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. And that's why I'm optimistic about, this coaching staff, the fact that, they bring that to the table and guys, especially younger guys that are revamping or quote unquote somewhat rebuilding the team, that I think guys will take heed to understand that, where these coaches are coming from and trusting that they're being put in a great position to succeed. And I'm kind of geared up. I might come out of retirement and play extra backer and play, 4th and 1 and 3rd and short situations and see if I can plug a gap still.
Man, those knees ain't working like they used to.
That knowledge is.
That knowledge is, yeah, right. So we saw you kind of point to your shirt, the Circle House Coffee. Tell us a little bit about that, and do you ever think about opening up a location here in Detroit?
Oh man, wow. So yeah, Circle House Coffee. I started about 2 years ago here in South Florida. We're going to our second location now here this summer here in South Florida as well. I'd love to have in Detroit, maybe at Ford Field or right around the Woodward area. But it's been a blessing. I have a great team of people, staff members, and just top to bottom employees who believe in the brand, what we're trying to do here, and giving back one sip at a time, and really taking on the community with my foundation being involved in the brand with Circle House Coffee. It's been I've had to pinch myself. It's been a long ride, ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulation, but with the right mindset and the right work ethic and the right belief in staff and culture, anything's possible. So things are definitely heading in the right direction. I'm most proud of my staff and the consistency that they bring to the table every day, and our customers enjoying what we have here, and it gives me a lot of confidence to open up another location, being that we've been successful through this pandemic and we're growing at a good rate. And so looking forward to potentially being in Detroit and a bunch of other cities across the country here in the near future. But we're definitely trending in the right direction, and we have a good team, so we'll see what happens.
You talk about your Circle House Coffee and your charity, and you still remain active in Detroit. Do you guys have anything happening in Detroit right now, or something coming up in the future? Do you see?
Yeah. So obviously, breast cancer is a huge part of my charity foundation, and we've had the Angels of Hope event for many years in Detroit. I think my last year I did it was 2017. Obviously, the pandemic kind of threw a wrench in a lot of things, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to Detroit and stay in the community. The Lions support my foundation year in and year out by donating, so it keeps my foundation going, and I'm able to do things for Detroit Public Schools. So once things settle back down, I'd love to get back to Detroit during the season to visit some of these public schools and get this Angel of Hope cancer event back up and running again. We also have a Athletes Adopting Family event in December for families that are dealing with cancer and can't pay their bills. We try to provide them a Christmas. So gearing up those things in the near future, I think that's something that I really would love to do and just anticipating on doing once this pandemic kind of slows down and we can get back into traveling and Ford Fields open up again, is implementing that into my plan with Circle House and my foundation.
Sure.
Great stuff. Class act. Stephen, somebody wanted to ask. Kenny said, Stephen, after watching Coach Campbell's press conferences, getting people fired up, do you want to suit back up and start biting some kneecaps and eating some kneecaps? Have you seen some of his press conferences and how he's gotten fired up? Because I'll tell you what, he's firing up this fan base something fierce.
I can appreciate it, especially a person that has played on the team, understands what it means to play for the Lions and what the fan base wants and what everybody's gearing for. Hearing the same old Lions speech. He's like myself. We're tired of hearing the same old Lions speech. It's time. The time is now. And for a player that's played on the team for many years or understands what the organization is about, he's tired of hearing it as well. And so for him to bring that intensity and that attitude day one, he's setting the bar at this level. And so whoever's on board or whoever's not on board won't be there long. Whoever's on board will be able to kind of run with the team as they continue to make that move and progress. But I'm excited about what Coach Campbell has talked about so far. I'm excited about the moves the general manager has made, the relationship that Coach Campbell and the general manager have together to be able to communicate. Communication is key. It sounds like they're on the same page when it comes to making the right moves. And like I said, this is probably the most excited I've been about the changes since Caldwell, departing, the team has made.
Great stuff. Anything else for your boy?
Yeah. So, you have so many ventures you have going on right now. What's next for you? What's next for Stephen Tulloch?
Wow. Oh, man. There's so many things in the works. There's so many things that I'm working on. Right now, I do a lot of engagement, speaking conferences with different teams. Right now, I'm working with the Dolphins, helping their team, doing some speaking engagements here in Florida. I think for me, it's just I want to mentor as many players as I can. I'm just tired of the statistic of 78% of players going broke 5 years outside the league. I think it's time for us to get financial, get that financial literacy to understand how to manage our money, how to take care of our situation while we're playing. And so as we transition over to the real world, we're in a better position. And so that's my goal right now. Now, outside of Circle House Coffee, is to kind of mentor younger players, open my doors here at Circle House Coffee for players to come by, communicate, give my number out to guys' emails, just to kind of open up that dialogue so we can better prepare ourselves for transition. And I'm just tired of seeing guys with, obviously next month, May being National Mental Health Month, a lot of guys suffer from that. So our coffee shop here at Circle House and the Stephen Tulloch Foundation, going to kind of gear up for that and kind of help with mental health. But the biggest thing I think now for players is mental health and money and financials. So just trying to find a way to be that liaison, that gap to bring players close to understanding how to manage both of those things. So that's kind of my goal is to leave that legacy behind and to make an impact the best I can.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people out who feels and believes that when you're playing ball, when you're playing football, you should just focus on that. How big is it to you? I talked about it on the show before, but I want to get your perspective on it. On starting or start dabbling in business while you're playing versus waiting until after you're done playing.
Well, I think, number one, I've never been a fan of getting in business while you played. I was married to the game of football since the age of 6 years old, right? My main focus was playing ball, getting good grades so I can play ball. I think as a player, you want to more so, gear yourself, be conservative as you can as possible. So when you make that transition, you can make it smoothly. I had the opportunity to take advantage of the NFL entrepreneurship courses while I played NFL in the offseason, which for me was a life-changing situation. Going to Stanford University, going to University of Michigan, Stephen Ross School of Business, going to University of Miami Business School in the offseason. Those programs geared me up for moments like this, right? It geared me up to understand, how to protect your money, how to do checks and balances, what franchising looks like, what, real estate looks like, and to better understand as I get ready to year 9, year 10, year 11, as I transition, that I have a plan in place to make that move and be able to put myself and my family in the best position to win. I had an opportunity to go to coffee school in Seattle Barista Academy out in California, to learn the business of coffee. So just different things like that to gear myself up for transition. I think a lot of guys need to understand that in the off season, yes, you train and you work out, but you got to prepare like tomorrow's not going to be here with your career. And so I think the NFL is trying to do a better job. I know this year I had an opportunity to speak with the University of Michigan School of Business NFL entrepreneurship course, and we had about 130 guys on the call, which is by far the most we've ever had at any business school, which we're averaging about 21 guys a year, which is we have 1,600 players in the league and only 21 guys show up to this event. So the fact that we're able to get them on Zoom this year and get about 130 guys, it speaks that guys want that knowledge. A lot of guys are scared to kind of communicate with the league when they leave because, number one, they don't leave on good terms. They feel embarrassed at how they left or they don't like the NFL for whatever reason. But, we had an opportunity to play in this league, and it's not given, it's earned. And so no matter if you're here for 11 years or 20 years in the league, you still have the opportunity to be there. So take advantage of the resources and your network that you have while you're playing. And so just trying to, that's basically kind of how I approach it when it comes to, preparing and managing life after football.
All right. Yeah.
What a great dude. Stephen, seriously, I mean, I hope everybody takes that, takes that away from this conversation. You're a guy that just continues to give back, not only to the game that you love, but to the community as well. And you're always going to be a Detroiter, whether you like it or not. And anything you ever need from here in Detroit, we always got your back, man. You are just a Class A individual, and I appreciate you.
Blue-collar guy. Blue-collar. I had to get him on the show. Had to get him out here.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Stephen.
I appreciate it. Again, condolences to you and your family. Jordan, man, always love, man. Love you, bro. And you guys keep doing your thing. Hopefully the show keeps growing. Love watching it. I follow it on Instagram. So you guys doing a good job. And shout out to your sponsors and everybody that supports you guys.
For sure. Now, don't be late for that 11:45 meeting. We're getting you off right on time.
I'm about to get on it right now.
Yeah, I know.
But a lot of love, man. You guys stay easy.
Lots of love to you. Stephen Tulloch, kindly. Hey, thanks for tapping in. What up, Doe? To the best of Baligian and Bell, as Joik likes to say when we say goodbye for the day.
Gang, gang.